Greetings from Yoga for Life. It's Deb. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone is staying healthy and well as we're in the midst of this practicing of social distancing. It is Wednesday, March the 18th, 2020, and today I will be offering you a yin and short meditation practice. Our physical yin practice will focus on working the range of motion of the spine, and our Sanskrit focus is the seed sound for the fourth chakra, Anahata. This is the heart chakra, and our seed sound is Yum. So we'll chant that 3 times at the beginning of class to help us drop into the parasympathetic nervous system as we activate the vagus nerve. We'll do a short upper body, lower body warm-up, set our intent for the practice, and then I'll ask you to come down into the supine position. I will briefly demonstrate each pose that you're going to be holding for a 3-minute period. As always, we will also develop our breath here at the beginning of class. So I hope you enjoy this time that we can share together every Wednesday. And then on Friday, Sophie will be offering a gentle yoga practice. And we will continue to do this offering as long as the studio remains closed. Please do refer to my Monday morning blog through my website, www.yogaforlife06.com. I'll post updates every Monday with some inspirational information as well. So we will begin this morning with our breath, and I will share some poetry from David Whyte's book, The Bell and the Blackbird. So I ask you to get comfortably seated. That can be with legs extended. You can sit up against a wall or a prop, or you can sit cross-legged in any comfortable position. Engage upward through the bandhas. Rest the eyes, promoting relaxation of the face. Close the lips. Relax the tongue and jaws and connect to the breath. So take a few moments to establish that all-important pranayama ujjayi. Deep diaphragmatic belly breathing. And our mudra this week is the Ushas mudra. So we interlace the fingers, bring the thumb tips together, creating a circle of unity, and rest the mudra to the lap. The Ushas mudra connects us to all things good. The poem by David Whyte is entitled Just Beyond Yourself. Just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be. Half a step into self-forgetting, and the rest restored by what you'll meet. There is a road always beckoning when you see the 2 sides of it closing together at that far horizon and deep in the foundations of your own heart at exactly the same time. That's how you know it's the road you have to follow. That's how you know it's where you have to go. That's how you know you have to go. That's how you know just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be. Just Beyond Yourself by David Whyte. And bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at the heart as you explore the energy there for your personal intent of practice. Perhaps stating that intent silently, your Sankalpa. Releasing the hands back down to the lap or the legs. And we'll do neck rotations as we chant the seed sound Yum. And this connects us to the energy of universal compassion. So make sure that your chin is parallel to the floor, the mat. Take a deep inhale. And we'll turn to the right on the exhale. Yum. Inhaling back through center. And now to the left. Yum. Back to center. Interlace the fingers, open the eyes to a gentle gaze, and we'll do our upper body warm up as we inhale to full extension. And exhale, release, repeat. And now for the stay, palms up, shoulders down. Rattle out that upper body tension. Holding stationary. Exhale, release to the fingertips and take your alternating shoulder shrugs. Inhale the arms out off the shoulders. On the exhale, lift and twist to your right, releasing gently to the fingertips, shoulders up, down, wrap them toward the spine. Maintain that sense of lift in your twist. Breathing deeply, diaphragmatically. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, lift into your twist to the left. Shoulders up, down, wrap toward the spine. Inhale, back through center, full overhead extension. Hinge at the hips, stay elongated through the spine as you fold into your yoga mudra. Inhale, coming back up. Slide the hands into the hip crease. We'll do seated cat dog tilts. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale, slide into dog tilt. Repeat. Move with your breath. And the third time. And back to neutral. All right, let's stretch out through Dandasana. Parallel the hands to the hips, relax the shoulders, and we'll do our quad stretching 3 times. So on the inhale, extend through the toes. On the exhale, dorsiflex, lift the feet. Repeat. Release the heels, stretch through the toes. And exhale, dorsiflex. And one more. Now we'll sustain that dorsiflexion lift, shoulders relax, stay with the breath. Inhale, release. Staying grounded through the left leg, let's cross the right leg over and we'll do our foot stimulation. Spreading of the toes, slide the fingers between, flex, extend. And brace the ankle, forward rotation. And reverse. And back to neutral. Brace the ankle, twist the upper foot away. Inhale through center, exhale, twist back. And back through center. Extend through the left fingertips, interlock with the right, squeeze the upper foot. Release and take your full foot massage 3 times. And again, remaining grounded through your left leg, you can take a half or a full Pendalasana, the baby cradle. So we open up the hip and massage the glutes and the piriformis. Inhale, release. Grounding through the right leg as we cross the left over. Foot stimulation. And spreading of the toes, fingers between, flex, extend. And brace the ankle, forward rotation. And reverse. Back to neutral, twist the upper foot away. Inhale through center, exhale, twist back. And back through center. Extend through the right fingertips, interlock with the left, squeeze the upper foot. Release and take your foot massage 3 times. When that's complete, taking your cradle to the left side. So again, you can take the half or the full, rocking through the hip joint. Inhale, release. All right, so that concludes our upper body, lower body warm up and our focusing and development of our breath and uniting the breath with our movement. So now we're ready to begin our yin practice, which is a contemplative, meditative way of practicing deep tissue, fascia stretching, connective tissue stretching along with muscular stretching and an opening of the major joints. So we'll be holding each of the poses for working the range of motion of the spine for about 3 minutes. We'll do a little bit of movement between each of the poses. We'll actually come down into the supine position in a moment. Before we do, I forgot to remind you at the beginning of class to grab a block and a bolster for this practice. So you might want to pause the video and gather those props quickly and then find your way back to the mat. All right, so I ask you to come up to the front edge of the mat in your bent leg position. Wrap the shins, lift the heart. Ignite the bandhas, and that will keep our back and our neck protected as we exhale our way down. And once down, we inhale through spinal extension, stretching the arms overhead, lengthening from fingers to toes. Exhale, release the arms, set the feet flat, hip width, big toes slightly pigeon. And we'll take the bridge 3 times. So drop the chin towards the chest. Inhale, peel from the tailbone through the vertebrae. We're going to stop the weight at the shoulders, extend the arms overhead, lift through the pelvis. Exhale, roll down from the shoulders to the tip of the tailbone and release the arms. Repeat. And we'll move back into the pose the 3rd time. Sustain your developed edge. You can keep the arms extended overhead or release beneath. Interlock the hands, roll to the inner edge of the shoulders. You also have the option of lifting the heels. And then the final option would be to plant the triceps, feel a lift through the fingertips and take a single leg lift. And to the opposite side. And really lift through the pelvis. Keep the weight shifted just to the shoulders, not into the neck or the head. And exhale, rolling down. And we'll counter with one of the variations of cannonball. So can interlock the hands behind the knees, hug the thighs in, or envelop the shins and hug the thighs in, and rock from side to side. Release and stretch back through spinal extension. So the first range of motion for the spine in a yin format will be the supine crescent moon or banana asana. So we'll be taking the lateral bend movement of the spine. So I ask you to clasp the left wrist with the right hand. And on the exhale, walk your legs out to the right, pressed or stacked left on top. Upper body, head, and neck to the right. Try to keep your left shoulder, your left glute grounded, and continue focusing on your breath. On the next inhale breath, bring the legs back to center, upper body, head, and neck. Now stretch out through spinal extension. On the next exhale, you're going to clasp the right wrist with the left hand and walk your legs to the left, finding your edge, press together or stack right on top. Upper body, head, and neck to the left, and you want to try to keep the right shoulder and inner right glute grounded as much as possible. Slide your blanket or your block beneath if you can't fully ground to the mat or the floor. And again, as you're holding these deep connective tissue muscle stretches through the major joints and the spine, stay focused with your breath. Don't let the mind wander off to other places. Keep it connected to the pose, to the body, to the breath. Inhale the upper body back to center, followed by the legs. Inhale back through spinal extension, lengthening from fingers to toes, allowing the spine to come back to its neutral position. And before we take our next spinal movement in a yin format, release the arms down, bend the legs, set the feet flat, and we'll take 3 L stretches. So inhale, toes to the sky, arms overhead to the mat, drawing the navel into the spine. Bend the knees slowly, release the feet, followed by the arms. Repeat. And exhale, release. And now for the stay. Continue with your breath. And exhale, release. Setting the feet at the edge of the mat at a 45-degree angle, tee your arms, and we'll take 3 reps of the windshield wipers. On the exhale, drop your right leg down to the right. It automatically pulls the left along. Pause at the base. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, drop the left leg to the left as it pulls the right along. Pause at the base. And take 2 more of those at your pace. Back to neutral. All right, now we move on to the twisting of the spine, and we'll proceed each twist side with a hamstring stretch on the opposite side. So from the supine position on the exhale, fold your left side into half wind, interlocking the hands at mid-shin or behind the knee if you have knee issues, and just gently begin to hug that thigh deeper and deeper into the chest on your exhale breathing. Inhale, release the leg to full extension, interlock up the back. Exhale, rolling up, drawing head and knee towards one another for Supta Padangusthasana. If you need support for the head, provide that with the right hand. Inhale, release, and exhale, fold the left side back into half wind. Rotate the left knee to the left, hook the outer right quadricep with the left edge of your left foot. Tee the arms, palms down, engage the bandhas. On the exhale, we're going to twist into support to the right, releasing the right leg and left foot into support, so that's either mat and floor or blanket block prop or bolster. Inhale, turn the head and neck to the right. And you can take several head, neck rotations as needed. And then allow the head to settle into that point that feels good in your body. So that can be neutral position or turned to the left. And as we stay the pose, maintain your deep diaphragmatic breathing. On the next inhale breath, bring your head back to neutral, right leg to alignment, uncross, and fold the left side into half wind. Inhale, release. Realign the back side of the body, prevent any tilting that might have been created with the twist. On the exhale, fold your right side into half wind. Inhale, release to full extension, interlock up the back. Exhale. Again, rolling up, drawing head and knee toward one another. Head support with the left hand if needed. Inhale, release, and exhale, fold the right side into half wind. Rotate the knee to the right, hook the outer left quadricep, tee the arms, engage the bandhas. Exhale, twist into your support to the left. Inhale, turn the head and neck to the right. And inhale the legs back through center, uncross, and let's float up into the wind posture, Apanasana. So again, hands at either mid-shin or behind the knees. And we'll take our sacral releases. On the exhale, hug the thighs in. Inhale, let them float away. 2 more in that direction. And hug the thighs in, gently rock through each side. And scribing clockwise circles with the knees. And counterclockwise. And release back to the feet. All right, let your hips shift to the left as you fold into supported fetal to the right. And once you're balanced, inhale your way up. All right, so gather your props, your bolster, and perhaps your block. We're gonna now take the spine into a deep supported back bend, Matsyasana, the fish. So the purpose of the bolster is to lift the thoracic spine into the back bend position. You wanna be protective of the head and neck. So if you don't feel like you have the full range of motion to get the back of the crown of the head to the mat, you need to place the block behind the bolster. Will look like this. And, or you can let the head release all the way down to the mat. So we want to begin by pulling the bolster up into the buttocks, hold it in place, and it's very important to activate your legs. So you want to stretch through the toes, press the inner legs together, hold the bolster in place, and on the inhale, we slowly release the mid-back onto the bolster, cactus the shoulders, arms, head, and neck over the back edge, releasing the back of the head into your support. Relax the shoulders. If they can't relax all the way down to support behind you, then I suggest that you bring the hands and rest them to the abdomen so that the arms are resting onto the bolster. Matsyasana, the fish, taking the spine into a back bend. Please follow these instructions for safely coming out of the back bend. If you feel tenderness or you have a weak back to begin with, or perhaps abdominals, then I recommend that you fold the legs and simply roll out through fetal to the right. Otherwise, you can press the triceps down into the bolster as you reach up through the fingertips. As you lift the head, drop the chin to the chest. Make sure the core and back are engaging as you inhale up through Dandasana, the staff pose. So press the palms skyward, flex the feet, ground the heels, and parallel the hands to the hips as we relax the shoulders and allow the spine to neutralize after the deep back bending. And release. Keeping the bolster nearby, you're going to come up into Chakravarkasana, the tabletop pose. So we want to set the hands into the bandha position, align our joints, our wrist, elbows, shoulders, knees, and hips. And we'll do 3 reps of dog, cat, puppy. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, dog tilt. Press the shins, tuck the tail, round the spine, cat tilt. Inhale, neutral tabletop. Exhale, sit back to the heels, then safely hinge at the hips and stretch into puppy. Inhale, realign and repeat. And a third time. Staying seated in puppy, make sure the weight is shifted to the heels, and on the exhale, we'll take our gate edge out to the right. Inhale through center, and exhale, gate edge to the left. And inhale, back through center. And all the way up. So the last range of motion that will take the spine through in a yin format is a fold. We'll take a supported child's. So if you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow and or blankets for this. Just roll them to as close of the dimensions of a standard bolster as possible. Bring the big toes together, separate the knees, bolsters between the inner thighs, and take a moment to fully stretch your trunk onto the bolster support. You have choices with the head and neck. You can stack the hands and rest the third eye there, keeping the neck neutral. Or turning the head to one side and adjusting the arms parallel alongside the bolster to that point that releases your shoulders. And I will give you a verbal cue when it's time to lift the head and turn to the opposite side. Supported child's Balasana. Now if you have hip or knee issues, you can release onto your back and take the resting pose to release the iliopsoas, bringing the knees together, separating the feet to the edge of the mat, relax the shoulders, and drop the chin. So this would be your alternative if your knees and or hips don't permit you to take the child's pose. Inhale the head through center and exhale, turn to the opposite side. And inhale the head through center and slowly rolling back up and releasing your bolster. All right, so now we need to have our block handy. We're gonna do a gentle inversion and then prepare the back for a comfortable Shavasana. And once Shavasana is complete, I'll bring you up and we'll just do a real short silent meditation with 3 cycles of the 4-7-8 breath, which is good for angst, anxiety, fear, which we might all be experience a little bit of that energy at this point in our lives. All right, so let's come back up to the front edge of the mat. Bent leg position, wrap the shins, ignite the bandhas, and slowly exhale your way down. Inhale, back through spinal extension. And exhale, release. Bend the legs, set the feet flat. And we're gonna take our block and place it horizontally flat beneath the sacrum. Press the inner legs and feet together. Drop the chin to the chest. Anchor the arms. Exhale, tuck. And inhale, stretch the toes to the sky as we press the inner legs and feet together. Sarvangasana, the supported shoulder stand. exhale, tuck. Inhale, release to the feet, lift the hips, and release the block. And stretch back through spinal extension. Exhale, release the arms, bend the legs, set the feet flat. And on the inhale, we're going to float up into little bear. So arms and legs limp above the body, sweeping inner circles. Pardon me. And reverse. Infinity. And inhale, static crunch. So stretching with intensity through fingers and toes skyward. Pulling the navel into the spine. Release and set up for the happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Safely finding your edge. You can maintain that edge or rock from side to side. And back to the still point. On the exhale, fold into wind again and take as many sacrals, front to back, side to side, as your back needs to release into a comfortable Shavasana. So for Shavasana, legs extend, V the legs out, feet fall to the side, arms alongside, palms up, shoulders relax down, and gently rock the head a few times, finding your neutral position. Rest the eyes and sink into the support of Mother Earth. Deepening the breath and sensing your groundedness. Reconnect to the physical body, wiggling fingers and toes. Reunite breath with movement as you inhale the arms overhead, lengthening from fingers to toes. And on the exhale, folding into supported fetal to the right. And once balanced, inhaling up into a comfortable seat. All right, so we'll take the 4, 7, 8 breath 3 times. And again, this is to calm any sense of tension, nervousness, angst, anxiety. If you have any kind of respiratory issues, then probably not wise to hold the breath for the count of 7. But the pattern is to take a deep nostril inhale for 4 count. Sustain, hold the breath for a count of 7. Exhale with the mouth open for a count of 8. And again, we'll do that cycle 3 times. So we began with a deep nostril inhale on a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now exhale out the mouth for a count of 8. Close the lips and repeat, beginning with a count of 4. Inhale. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8, out the mouth. Repeat. And back to your classic Ujjayi. As we take a moment to meditate together, focusing on the heart chakra, color green, and the energy of universal compassion. Now we can chant Yum 3 times. Yum. Om Mani Padme Hum. May all beings be happy, and may all beings be free from suffering. We are all just walking each other home, and those are the words of Ram Dass. Atha Yoga, Anasasanam. Now let the true teaching of yoga begin. And it is indeed an honor and a pleasure. You chose to share a part of your time and energy here this day. Namaste. Until we can be together on the mat, be safe, be kind, and be positive. Namaste.